Hello, everybody, and welcome to another edition of We Are Legion Live. Tonight we have with us Miss Charley Young.
Oh, hello.
How's it going? How you doing tonight?
I am doing well, Bill. How about you?
Pretty good, pretty good. Been had a little long layoff from doing a show. It's been about a week or so since I had a show. I was working overnight shifts at my day job, and they were really tearing me up. So
I'm sorry to hear that.
it's
Overnight, you said?
yeah, from 11 to 7:30 in the morning. Yeah, it
Yikes.
happens. It happens sometimes. But why don't you start off with telling everybody a little bit about yourself?
Sure. So my name is Charley Young. I am a synth pop artist. I am heavily inspired by sounds and music from the 80s and 90s. I was born in San Diego, California, but I grew up primarily on the Gulf Coast of Florida, which is where I happen to be right now with my family. I'm usually in New York City or LA, but as we all know, the pandemic is not really doing so hot in the major cities. So I'm down here, and I think that really sums it up pretty much. Is like that's my genre, and that's where I'm from, and I just really love creating music that that has a little bit more depth in it, because sometimes people hear like pop and they're like, oh, so that means it's like going to be just cheesy, like fun bubblegum. And I do have some songs like that, but everything I do, like even those fun on the surface songs, I always write it so it has a double meaning, so it can be read a different way if people like delve into the lyrics. So
You said you were inspired by the synth pop from like the 80s and the 90s. Anyone in particular that?
Oh, yeah. You've opened up a can of worms. So anybody who knows me knows that I'm a huge Depeche Mode fan. I actually got to see them with my mom live. I think it was 2.5 years ago. And then like 3 months later, I met Dave, the lead singer.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, he lives in the same neighborhood where I work out whenever I'm in New York City. So I just bumped into him, and I like fangirled. And anyway, it was a really great moment.
It happens. I even fanboy out sometimes on the show, and I get made fun of by the comments. But hey, it happens when you meet an idol,
Yeah, and he's been a big influence of mine. I a lot of my influences have been, I've had a lot of male influences, but also, I've had a lot of female influences, but also a lot of male influences that I'm just like, I'd love to be like channel that, even though I'm a woman. Like I really love their energy. Early Madonna, of course, you've got to put her in there. I'm actually, even more so than Madonna, is Kylie Minogue for me. I love Kylie Minogue. Okay. New Order, Duran Duran, INXS. I mean, we're going down that. And contemporary, I would say my favorite artist contemporary right now is Marina. So.
Oh, right on. Yeah. We can go down that rabbit hole all you want to, because I grew up in the 80s and the 90s, and so I know exactly. I listened to all those bands you mentioned, and one of my fondest memories from being a kid was falling asleep every night listening to Casey Kasem do the American Top 40.
Yeah.
And so you get a lot of those bands that you mentioned on there, and probably shouldn't have been staying awake that late, but that's what I did.
But you enjoyed it, right?
I love it. I mean, there's not many more calming of voices there was out there than Casey Kasem's voice. He was just smooth, and it would just help you drift right to sleep. So yeah, not a problem. So I've seen you've done some work previously with like Diamond Lounge and with People of the Parallel and stuff like that. So you want to talk about some of those works that you've done with them?
Yeah, absolutely. We released Ride With Me. It's been a week ago. We released it the 5th of February. So I was super excited. Diamond Lounge, it's funny because I would say maybe about a year and a half ago, they were like one of those people on Twitter that you see like everywhere and doing really well. And you're like, oh, these people are cool. Like, I want to get in their circle. And then next thing I know, it's like early last year, and that they're like, we're at a point where they're asking me to do a collab. And I was like, that's awesome. And they are, as most people know, or as people may or may not know, they are based in Paris, France, and French is my other language. And so it was like a double treat for me. And if you listen to the song, there is a lyric that is rencontre-moi dans la voiture, amant. And what it means is meet me in the car, lover. Like everybody's like, what does that mean? They're like, they'll be popping along the song and be like, what? Like, but anyway, yeah, so that's how that came about. It was just kind of like, we got closer on Twitter and it evolved into a collaboration. And then I've been joking with Justin, with People the Parallel. I've been joking with him that it was a forced collab because he wasn't originally on the song till I got the master. And so I've been kind of yanking his chain and being like, well, it was a forced collab to be honest. But no, he did a great job on the guitar, and it turned out really well. I'm really happy with it, and it's a really fun song. And I don't know, it's different than some of the other releases I'm doing this year. So it was a really great way to like kick off my 2021 release schedule, especially after the shit show that 2020 has been.
Yeah. Speaking of which, you said you're down in the Gulf Coast of Florida, and so what have you been doing trying to kind of keep busy over the course of the pandemic?
Oh my gosh, I've actually had the problem where I have been too busy, I would say. I have a lot of friends who are, one of my closest friends is, I think, going a little bit stir crazy during the pandemic. And a couple of my friends are actually, they're in like larger cities. And anyway, I have been really fortunate because a lot of people have been approaching me now for collabs. I did my first official collaboration in end of July 2020. And then after that, it just kind of, right now, I just finished recording a collab on Wednesday that'll be out in June. Got another request for one, and then another, and then another. Plus my solo stuff. I'm super busy working on the music stuff, and also planning a music video shoot. Part of my brand is music videos. I went to grad school for acting. Acting is a big part of my background, and I'm a big music video person. So I'm submitting my latest music video, Minefield, for film festivals. I'm working on planning my music video need to get filmed by the summer, and it's kind of a little bit fluid right now because the location depends on how COVID is, so and then all of that on top of helping my parents with their businesses and helping them at home. And I have been quite busy.
Yeah, you sound very busy, which is good.
Yes.
But you say you've been working on all these collabs and stuff, and we mentioned a couple of them. Is there any other people that you've done the collabs with that you can mention right now?
Yeah, there is. So what I can say is, so as you know, I just released one with Diamond Lounge and People of Parallel last week. I am releasing, he's already announced it, so we're cool. I'm releasing one with Fonz Tramontano in June, early June. I believe the date is June 4th. It's that first Friday. And then I have another collab coming out in June with a female artist I'm really excited about. It's all female-led kind of synth pop collaboration. So this artist is releasing an album, and each of the songs is going to be her and another synth female, which I'm like, yeah. And then I have another collab coming out in August. It's not been announced yet, but I have another one with another artist, so I'm excited for that one as well. Yeah.
Being so busy doing all these collabs, have you had a lot of time to work on your own stuff?
Yeah, I actually have. It's kind of funny. I'm in I'm not in my room right now. But in my room, I have a dry erase board, Bill, and I have all my projects like on there, and I've got the collabs on part of it, and I've got one song. I've got basically 3 songs at different stages of development for solo. So
Okay.
yeah, yeah.
So I'm speaking of the videos and stuff like that. We now got the vaccines that are rolling out, and hopefully I was hoping at the beginning of summer that we'd be able to get back to some semblance of normalcy, but it doesn't look like it's going to hit that milestone. It's going to be looking more towards midsummer, towards the beginning of fall.
Right.
What are your plans for that going forward from that point, whenever we start to open back up? Are you looking to get out and do shows? Are you really chomping at the bit to do those, or did you want to do more writing, or what do you want to do?
Yeah, that's a great question. I have a wonderful, wonderful band in New York that I play with. They're really great guys. They're actually metal guys, which is what's really cool about it. But it's like, but what makes it really cool is that like they're so talented and just can learn things really quickly. So I miss performing with them because they're just amazing performers. So, and I did a live, like impromptu live stream concert last Saturday, and then my band and I have been doing, I think we just recorded, we just did a 3rd live stream, and we have a live stream that we're doing on Valentine's Day, but it's not the same. I enjoy it. It works. But yeah, I miss having the audience there. There's a certain level of sharpness that has to come on, right? Because you've got people right there present, like you need to be on your game. And I don't know, it just feels, it's a different kind of atmosphere, right?
Yeah, as well as a performer, I mean, you lose so much by not having that audience there and being able to pull energy from the audience, and you don't get that same kind of connection you do. I mean, I do the live streams. I watch live streams of a lot of different artists, but they aren't the same,
No.
You kind of lose that intimacy that you would have from a live show. And I mean, I haven't got to see a live show since it was like September or October of 19.
I haven't done a live show since, well, I sang the national anthem in December very quickly for a small event, but I haven't done a live show with my band since December 19. So
yeah, and I'm like straight chomping at the bullet to get out and see some live music, and so the quicker that we can get some of this stuff rolled out and people start getting back to some semblance of normalcy, because we've lost a ton of venues and stuff over the course of this. And the good thing about it for the artist is once the venues start opening back up and they can get back out there and start playing, is they can expect sold out houses pretty much nightly, because everybody's just I don't care who's playing, I want to go see some live music, and
yeah, and you know what? Real quick about that, I'm going to get on my soapbox briefly, and then
go ahead.
I'll jump off. Okay, so on my soapbox, real quick, the one thing that I'm noticing is I don't know what it's like in Kansas where you are. You're in Kansas City, Missouri, right?
I'm just right over the border into Kansas, but okay. I grew up in Missouri, so yeah, it's pretty much the same thing.
Yeah, I've been both places, but I wanted to get it right. But I was going to say, so I don't know what it's like in Kansas right now where you are, but the one thing that's kind of disturbing for me right now is people are so chomping at the bit that the local hockey teams are playing games, and I just see all of these events going on, and I'm like, come on, guys, I know that everybody is sick of being quarantined and staying at home and with their spouses or children or families or what have you. But come on, man, just don't do it. You're making it worse. So,
that's why I was like focusing on more mid to late summer is
Yeah.
so everybody, most or hopefully a good portion of the population will have at least had their 2 doses of vaccine, and then it's a relatively safer that way. You're always going to have those one people that just refuse to get vaccinated and stuff like that, and the non-believers, and they're gonna spread some stuff until, I mean, well, pretty much until they can completely cure the vaccine or the virus. So
Yeah.
but
Yeah. I mean, they're saying that this virus is going to be kind of like measles and the flu. It's just we're going to have to live with it.
yeah, and yeah, and I saw the other day where they were talking about even after you get your second dose, they want you to come back in for yearly boosters.
Oh, I didn't see that.
Yeah, that's what they're talking about. They may
Huh.
say the vaccine may only last for a year, so you might have to come back in and get a single shot booster once a year to keep it going.
Well, that's what you have to do with the flu, right? And you have to get
Yeah,
boosters for
yeah,
measles, mumps, and rubella, so it makes sense.
yeah. You have to, because
Yeah.
the viruses, they'll keep mutating and stuff like that, and you have to. That's the reason why there are boosters, and
Right.
what you got to.
Yeah.
It's what you got to do, and like you said, I would hope that everybody would be more safe about doing it, but there's always going to be that certain percentage of people that are going to not be safe.
Yep. And all I can say is, you've got to do what's best for you and protect yourself, whatever that means for you. Take care of
Yeah.
yourself. So
Yeah, exactly, and it's not fair to the other people that go to the shows. It's not fair to the artists, the band members, and all the people that come together to put these shows together, that you go out there and potentially put them at risk.
yeah. Well,
Just because you want to be an asshat,
yeah. Well, I had an offer. I feel like there was something I don't know. I feel like there's a venue that here where, not the main venue here. There's a main venue here that's awesome, that gets all the like national acts that comes through that I've played at before, and they're awesome, but they're closed down. But there's a couple smaller venues, and I can't even think about doing a live performance right now, because if I had an event and people came and got COVID, I couldn't live with myself.
And you're not alone in that. I've had several on here that are the same way. I've had bands, the Metal Birds. They only get together like once a month to practice, and for the band during this, they're focusing now on stuff on writing and things.
Yeah.
Other things that they can do to work with the band. And of course, they'll get together like once a month and be socially distanced, and they'll get practice in. But other than that, they haven't been doing shows or anything like that.
Yeah.
And another band from Cleveland that they haven't even been getting together at all, and they haven't been doing any shows throughout. They're basically just doing Zoom meetings and stuff like that, doing writing and things of that nature. But yeah, I mean, you gotta take, it's all individual, and you gotta look what's best for you and what's best for the people around you, and make that decision.
Yeah. Well, as an artist, you whether or not you want to be, you do become, no matter what level you're at, you do become a public figure. And public figures, just like politicians, whether they're at the city level, state level, national level, you have some accountability. People are following you and looking up to you, and you have to take that into account. And it's like when I shot Minefield back in October, the woman who she and I have been doing films together for like 13 years. We were like, okay, we're in Montana, because it was open spaces, wide, but there were only 5 people, including me, Everybody had to wear masks at all time. Everybody had temperature checks. I mean, we were very stringent, you know? So that was the only thing that I have done during COVID that's been kind of, you know, like I've had to be very, very, very careful. Kind of like your bands saying they're being socially distanced when they are practicing, you know? So,
Yeah.
yeah.
So tell us a little bit more about your film work that you do.
Yeah.
Do you just do videos, or have you done any like shorts or anything like that?
Oh yeah. So I got into doing, I'll just give you a little background and then I'll accelerate forward. I got into doing film at college actually, and the woman who does all my music videos now, she and I, like I said, we've been working together for 13 years, and she was, you know, during that, I met her during that first year of me doing first or second year of me really starting to do filming and stuff. And so I did a lot of student films in college, a lot. Then I have done some independent films in LA and in New York, everywhere from horror to comedy. I just had a movie called Son of Blackbeard that was in festivals in 2019, like up until COVID shut everything down. It was playing in festivals and we won some awards and stuff. But I would say right now, especially 2020, I mean, I've just really been focusing on producing my own stuff because I don't really feel they're starting to resume production on a lot of films and TV, but I don't really feel super comfortable being in that kind of environment because they're like, oh, get a COVID test before you come on set. And I'm like, you know, and they're not saying that to me. They're just saying when you apply for it, right? They're saying like, oh, COVID tests are going to be administered before the shoot. And I'm just like, you know what? Like, yes, that's great, but I prefer to do my own productions right now where it's like 5 people or less and there's not hundreds of people on set, whether or not they've been tested, you know? But anyway, so basically, you know, acting can be a very fickle creature. Sometimes you're like really hot and sometimes it's not your season. And so I've really turned to music. Music videos has been a perfect marriage for me because I use my film acting experience with my music. And Amelia, that's the name of my collaborator, she and I have been, we've been in a few festivals even during the pandemic, and we just won 3 awards last month at a film festival.
Nice.
So,
Congratulations.
Yeah. Thank you. So she went to the #1 film school in the world. I'm going to brag on her. And like I said, we work super well together. She can look at me and I know what I've done wrong and I need to correct. So it's just a good, you know, we're going to keep doing the music videos and we may do some shorts as well. So, but yeah, I've done either side.
Okay. What about after the pandemic? Are you looking to just stay into like doing movies and stuff like that, or would you consider doing TV?
Oh yeah, I mean, you know, there is if you watching TV now, I mean, there are a lot of great shows and great writers that are on TV right now. So yeah, I'm not. I mean, I love film. Film is like where my heart is, you know, whether it's doing a video or a short film or a feature, but I am, you know, work is work. So work is work.
Yes, I hear that. Why don't we take a little bit of a break right here, and why don't you tell the audience where they can find your stuff at? Give them your websites and your social media handles and stuff like that so they can look you up.
Absolutely. So I've tried to make it relatively easy for people. So my website is M as in like Madam, S as in Sir, so Ms, and then my name, Charley Young. So as you can see, it's EY, not IE, .com. And then my handle on all platforms is Ms. Charley Young, that MS, then my name, Charley Young. And it's the same for everything. So you'll find me on TikTok, Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, you know, whatever else they come up with. So, yeah. And if you go to my website, by the way, MsCharleyYoung.com, all of my links are down below. So,
Okay.
You'll see.
Do you have any like merch sites on there as of yet?
Oh yeah. There's a merch store on there. I'm really excited, Bill. You did really well. I'm really excited. I just redid my website and launched it at the end of January. So it looks super awesome, rad 80s neon. Like the color of my lipstick and bright yellow.
Okay, sweet. I'm gonna have to go check that out now.
Yeah, you are.
And yeah, we'll get that checked out. So yeah, everybody, make sure you go look her up on all her social media. Follow her.
And I will follow back. I will follow back.
She does follow back. I can tell you that. And hop over to the website, check out the new website design, pick up some merch while you're there.
Oh yeah. And I'll give everybody here. I'm going to give everybody who's watching. I don't normally do this, but I'm feeling generous. I am a generous person, but I'm just saying I normally don't give out discount codes. But if you enter the word supporter at checkout, so supporter SUPPORTER at checkout, you'll get 25% off any merch. Boom, done.
And there, I just put it in the comments form. So there you go. See, free, got a discount code and everything, man. You got the hookup tonight for showing up.
And if you didn't show up, well, you're SOL.
Yeah, don't be just handing that out either, man. Just make them come watch the live stream.
Listen, guys, this is privileged information. So just keep it between us. I mean, I guess tell your spouse or, sibling, but like, don't be spreading this out, okay? Cool.
Exactly. I mean, she's got to eat too,
I mean, listen, I've got I don't know if you've seen Beefy on my page yet, but Beefy is my bulldog. He's an English bulldog, and he's very expensive to take care of. So somebody's got to take care of him.
I can vouch for that. My buddy used to have 2 English bulldogs, and they are not cheap at all.
But they're worth it.
They are. I love bulldogs to death. But yeah, they are pricey.
Oh,
pricey
yeah.
Dogs.
Yeah.
So we'll get back into it. When is your next release coming out?
Yeah, so I haven't officially announced this, so you guys are just getting all the like inside scoop.
That's what I like to do. I like to get the breaking news on here.
I know. Hashtag blessed. No.
That's why everybody needs to come and watch the live stream so they get the breaking news first.
I know, because but like honestly, what else are you doing Friday night right now? I mean, this is awesome. And if you're out like at an event, like that's irresponsible. Come watch this. This is responsible and it's fun and we're cool. So yeah. But so I haven't announced this yet, but I am releasing my first solo single on April 9th, which is my mom's birthday. Fun fact, I love to make my solo releases, whether they're music videos. Normally the music videos are released on the same day as the song, but sometimes they're not, sometimes they're later. But I always like to schedule my releases near my near an important date for me, whether it's someone's birthday or anniversary in my family, just someone important. And so my next release is on my mom's birthday, April 9th. So April 9th, the name of my song is I Want It Now. And it's really cool. Here's what I'm excited for. So my solo stuff this year, people are going to be a little bit surprised because there's a lot more. It's still synth. There's still synths, believe me. Like, I'm not recording music without synths because they're my baby. But there's a lot more of a rock fusion in it. I worked with a really, really awesome producer who's worked with Paramore and some other bands like that. So to give you a little bit of a gist. And the music video is like a Western that we shot in a ghost town in Montana, and it's going to be sick.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
I'm super stoked.
So are you going to have like any pre-orders for the new coming out?
Yeah. I mean, what I normally do is I do pre-saves right now just because we're in such a digital world. Everybody is streaming music. They're not really acquiring music, although what I will say that I am thinking about doing. So again, I'm like I feel like I'm writing I'm like opening my diary to you, Bill. Like, do you
have that effect on people?
I was gonna say, is this how you got around in life?
No. Yeah.
So anyway, what I'm really musing about, and also if anybody like wants to drop their feedback about this, I'm more than willing. But what I am musing about is my first EP that I released was 5 years ago this September, and I'm really thinking about doing a limited edition vinyl run, like only making like 21 copies or something. So I'm really thinking about that. And so I want to do stuff again since my influences are retro. If I do stuff, I might do just a cool little vinyl thing this year. So be on the lookout for that. And if people
That
have
would be.
input they want to give, let me know.
I think that would be awesome. I mean, you don't
Yeah.
really get a lot of new vinyl out these days, and since you have more of that synth pop stuff from like the '80s and stuff, I think that would be super cool to have it out on vinyl because I remember back in the day getting my 45s and listening to some of that stuff on 45s, and that would be outstanding. So when do you think you'll have your pre-save starting for your new single? So
I
everybody.
usually start it 2 weeks before, so that should be, I believe, the 26th of March. So March 26th.
That sounds about right. We'll double check that real quick.
Yeah, double check. That should be right because March and February's days usually line up if February has 28 days and it's not a leap year.
Okay, yeah. And you said you're releasing it on April 6th? 4/9. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
Yep. So it is the 26th of March. So
Yep.
everybody look out for that on the 26th of March for the pre-save for that. Help her out there because those pre-saves help her get on playlist. So
Yeah, and also it's I always give a snippet of the song and the song is badass. And like in the video I'm playing like one of the characters I'm playing is a gunslinger like in a western town. Like it's a cool song. So and it's inspired by Depeche Mode. So do it.
I'm very intrigued to see if they listen to this now.
Oh, it's a cool like I don't, this is weird. I appreciate my music, but I don't always listen to all of my music. But like these songs, I find myself like wanting to listen to like multiple times. And I'm like, that's a good sign. Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, that's interesting that you say you don't always listen to all of your music. I guess that would make sense that once you write it and you record it and stuff, you don't always go back and listen to it because you went through the whole process with it. But then you have stuff like this that you're really so amped about that it's fun and you want to go back and listen to. That's no one's ever gave that kind of perspective before on the show, at least.
Yeah.
Talking about their music.
I mean, I heard about some famous rapper who's like, I only listen to my music. I'm like, fine. But, I'm always trying to evolve and grow and just, I love music and I love all different, I think this is what surprises a lot of people. I listen to like everything, except for, no offense, except for country. I'm just not, I'll be like, okay, that's good, but that's not my jam. I'm not a big country fan, but I love rock and alternative rock and, punk I listened to a lot growing up. And it's kind of fun to insert some of my other interests and genres that people may not immediately associate me with in this new music. And I think that's why I'm listening to it more because I'm going to be showing people a different side of me.
Yeah, and a lot of music these days there are so many cross collabs now, and it makes things a lot more interesting when you can take the different pieces and kind of mold them together and see what you come up with.
Yeah.
And this point in time is more genre less than any other point that I can ever remember. I mean, back in the 80s, like you were a genre. I mean, you were pop, you were rock, you were country, you were whatever, and you very seldom drifted outside those lanes. I mean, you got a few cross collabs like when Aerosmith and Run DMC did Walk
Yeah.
This Way, but those were very few and far between, and you just didn't get that kind of collaboration work that you get today. I mean, you can turn on the radio and pretty much on any chart at any given time, there's a cross collab song on any chart, and it just works now. And I think people are more open to it now than at any point that I can remember, anyways.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's you being a synth artist. I'd like to see. I haven't really seen too many cross collabs much with synth music, but I think there's a lot of room for experimentation there, and I think there can be some very, very good stuff come out of that genre.
Yeah.
If someone's just willing to put the work in to make it go.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. And it's funny because you do hear synths. I mean, that's the kind of crazy thing is I have a friend who does, and he may be watching right now. I don't know if he is, but he does, he kind of labels himself as alternative / experimental. And, cool thing is like you can hear synths there. I mean, like people, they're not just relegated to like this bright, happy, poppy sound. I mean, like the ones in my my personal singles, my solo singles that are coming out this year, they have depth to it, and that's my big thing is I want to show that synth pop isn't just like one, like, oh, we're happy all the time. It's like, no, that's not what it means. Is like it's synth driven music that normally has a retro influence. Right. So.
Yeah. You dropping over there? Okay. Making sure. So, in New York, when you get back in there, do you have any like favorite places that you like to get out and play when you're in New York?
Yeah. There's a couple places that I've played that are, I mean, honestly, like all the places that I've played are cool. One of the places that I played a couple times, just like the pandemic killed it. Killed it. It's gone.
There's way too many places like that.
Yeah, it's done. But the last show I played was Arlene's Grocery, excuse me, and it was like the lighting and stuff was like awesome, and like just the whole stage was it was a really great like theatrical experience almost. I love the Bitter End playing there just because of the history and just because it's such a landmark. Same with Bowery Electric. It's the old CBGB. So the fact that I got to play there, like whenever my name was like a headline on there, I like took a picture because it was just like, because I think this is another thing that people maybe lose sight of is like synth pop came out of new wave and post punk. It's like punk, new wave, synth pop. Like they're all closely related. And, Blondie and, even the Ramones and people who went through CBGB are big influence of mine. So to be, even though it's now called Bowery Electric, to be like in that space or like the Bitter End where people have, come up, a lot of stars have come up and had their beginning. I mean, it's just kind of like, it's kind of awesome. You're like, wow, this is okay, cool. We're in like almost like hallowed ground, if you will.
Yeah, I mean, because we have a lot of places like that have went through several name changes and ownership over the years, and to me, it's always going to be whatever venue it was when I first started going there, and it doesn't change the venue. I mean, you can take a line from Shakespeare, a rose by any other name is still a rose.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, the history and stuff is still there, no matter how you change the name or anything like that. I could see where that would just be leave you kind of just in starstruck. I mean, you get more starstruck from a venue than you can from actually other human beings sometimes.
Yeah,
And
absolutely.
I've talked to several like country artists that play in the Ryman Auditorium at the Grand Ole Opry. It is what it is. It's an iconic venue, and if you get a chance to play there, then it's just a great moment in your life to be able to do so.
That's the mecca of like country music. Like that's
that you don't get any better than that in country music. I mean, that is the venue if to be able to play, and once you do that, and then all the rest of the venues are just other venues. You played the mecca. How about in LA when you're out there? Have you played any cool places out there?
I've done most of the stuff I've done out there is at my favorite place, which has got the moniker of the Rock and Roll Hotel, because a lot of celebrities and musicians like it just because they can kind of just be free and nobody really cares. And it's very like paparazzi, like they're very good at making them like go away kind of thing. And it's just kind of like an oasis in the middle of LA. And I've had a couple events there, and I just love the vibe because, again, you have, Joe Strummer was there, and Joe Strummer and Cyndi Lauper and Aretha Franklin. I mean, there's just been a lot of people who've passed through those doors. Green Day. So that's a place I really love to be at over there. And yeah, so it's cool. I will say, as of right now, it's funny because my vocal coach and a couple people who like work with me are out in LA, but I would say the majority of my live performances so far in my career have been in New York. And I think one of the biggest ones that my band and I were going to go do again this year, but again, COVID, was the New York City Marathon. That was unbelievable to play that. Unbelievable.
So what is your mecca, your iconic venue that would be the top one that if you could play?
Oh yeah. That is a great question. Gosh, I've never really thought about this before. That's a good question. There's a venue, and I'm not sure what the status is right now, because it's just, again, with the like they were going through some renovations and some changes, and I have played one of their rooms, but I would love to play their main stage. It's Webster Hall in New York. I've played their balcony lounge and stuff, which is a cool stage, and I've gotten some of my performance photos that you'll see are from there. But like to be on the main stage, I think would be awesome. I could say an arena, but an arena's not ever really is not necessarily what I like. I like the intimacy of these like bigger stages, but still, there's still a personal thing about it. Like I said, the main stage. Yeah.
Yeah, that's understandable. I mean, you can get too big. I mean, obviously not for the money wise. I mean, you always want as many people packing in there as you can. But
right.
I mean, you kind of lose the experience the more people that you get. Because I've been to some of these huge festivals, and we're talking 150, 200,000 people there. And sometimes you get so far away from the stage that you can't even see the artist anymore, and you're just listening off speakers that they've hot wired out back there, and it's just not the same experience as being up close and personal. I mean, I think the perfect size for me for going to a show is somewhere in between, like maybe 2,000 to 5,000 people at the most in the venue.
Yeah.
Because you still got enough people there, but you also got that sense of intimacy with the artist. You can see the whole stage and go through the whole show with them. And we have a theater here called Starlight Theater that they actually do plays and stuff. That I think their max is about 2,500 people, which is a perfect venue to see a show. I mean, I've seen. I went and saw. I've seen Chicago there. Journey. I saw Journey there. Night Ranger, Foreigner. Those bands there, and it's just one of the better venues because it's all like stadium seating, so everybody has a clean view of the stage, and it's small enough to where you get that personal feel with the band when they're playing. And when you get iconic bands like Chicago and Journey and Foreigner and stuff out there playing, and where you pretty much know every song that they're going to be playing, it's just like one big huge party, and it's really cool.
Well, and that's the thing too. It's like my dad and mom and I actually went and saw ZZ Top at a theater that probably sat around 1,500 to 2,000 people, and it was awesome because you felt like you were part of the experience. And you know, even though they're older, you know, just like we all are getting older, right? You know, it was just incredible. Like, you know, it was this communal experience, and honestly, I'd rather do multiple nights of a show at a smaller venue than like one night, blow it out, and then there's people in the back. Because one thing that's important to me with my brand and everything is I will, to my detriment, pour resources into whether it's my merch or my music, so that the fan or the viewer or the listener gets the tip-top experience. So I don't like to do anything half-assed. That's not me. I would rather not do it if I'm not going to do it all the way. It's not going to do it.
Yeah, I hear that. And actually, I'm kind of uber jealous because I was going to go see ZZ Top this last year, but the show got canceled because it was actually ZZ Top and Willie Nelson.
Oh, wow. That's a lineup.
And, yeah, they were playing at the theater that I mentioned before, and but the show got canceled because of COVID, and because Billy Gibbons, I love Billy Gibbons, especially when he's playing his blues on his guitar. He's one of my favorite guitarists of all times. And
he's my dad's he's like the one celebrity in the world that my dad just like adores.
Yeah,
and I bought him a meet and greet, and he met him.
Oh wow. Yeah, I absolutely love Billy Gibbons, so yeah.
He's a cool dude.
What I'm doing right now is they asked me if I could play one of your songs, so I'm trying to get one loaded here so I can play it.
No, you can't listen to my music.
Yeah. She says no, so boom.
I said no, okay?
Yes.
God, nobody
no means no.
Means no. Yay.
At least that's what they tell me in training every year. Yeah.
Exactly, right?
But man, I can't get over the fact.
A little bit of something, a little something.
Okay.
Something.
Actually, I got Believe loaded up right now.
Oh, that's one of my first songs.
Okay, it was just the first one that popped up when I
it's fine.
Spotify.
I was like, oh, that's one of my favorite songs.
All right, well, let's turn it up.
It's a little bit more EDM.
Can everybody hear that okay?
I woke up this morning, you were not here. What do I have to do to have you, dear? I don't know why I even try this hard, but I just know that you are my star. All I ever wanted was there to be just you and me. I'll never stop, 'cause I'll never leave. Come to my bed and kiss me until I know to sleep.
and then it sounds like it stops, but it's gotta go back.
Okay.
I'll keep on wishing until I die. Give me some hope, please, a sign. I tried so hard, been giving you my all. You've ripped my heart out, left me here to go. What does it matter if you're not even around? This is the third time you left without a sound. 'Cause all I see is you. Don't try, just all I see is you and me. Don't just try, just leave. All I see is you and me. Don't just try, just leave.
There you go. I think they do that on purpose because they don't want to hear me talk anymore. But but hey, it is your show, so we'll let them hear some music if they want to hear music.
Is it my show, though?
Yes.
It's
This week.
yeah. You know, it's so funny. This is why I'm talking about like listening to my music. I'm always a little bit reticent about it, is because especially my early stuff, you know, that's from my first ever EP, and I listened to it, and you know, I guess it's the quintessential artist thing. You're like, I wish I'd done this, or you know, I bet I could do this now, and you know, I'm just always like, it takes me a while to get to a point where I'm like, yes, I'm satisfied, I'm happy, like, boom, yeah. So.
Oh, now they're just getting greedy. They want another one. I
have a song called Greedy. Play that one for him.
I will try to see what Spotify does
Hold the
for me.
Moon is a great song. Play Hold the Moon Retro Mix. It's short and it's awesome.
Let's see what loads here.
He's like, no, you're gonna get what you're gonna get.
Well, I'm too cheap to buy the subscription to Spotify, so I just have the free version, and
no judgment.
So it just it shuffle plays on me, okay?
Ah, got you.
Maybe one day I'll. This one actually, Minefield.
Oh, it's my newest one. Cool.
Minefield is the name of this one.
This kind of situation, this crazy trial by fire, step in the wrong direction, and you can trip the wire. We've got this blind obsession, blow up and then diffuse. We're fueled by pure emotion. We can't help what we do. We go walking through this minefield. We've got everything to lose with everything that we feel. There's no easy way to get through the minefield. The minefield. Can we keep it all together? And why is love so hard? Promise me you'll never, ever let down your guard. When the war is over and still reminds me, will we love each other? Stand the ground and we go walking through this minefield. We've got everything to lose with everything that we feel. There's no easy way to get through the minefield. Minefield. Na 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 na. This minefield, you've got everything to lose. With everything that we feel, yeah, we feel. There's no easy way to get through. There ain't no way to go this minefield. You've got everything to lose. With everything that we feel, there's no easy way to get through. There ain't no way to get the minefield. And we go walking through this minefield. The minefield. Walking through this minefield. And we go walking through this minefield. Oh, the minefield. Hey, the minefield. The minefield. Oh, the minefield.
Okay, now, anything else we can get for you, Stacy? Back rub, foot massage? Anything like that?
You need to give her a glass of wine.
Actresses. Shh. What do you do with them? But no, that's great stuff.
Thank you.
Mike from Three Mind Blight said to sell you shots.
Yeah. Shot.
Is that from
shot. Everybody. It's from the LMFAO song.
Yeah, but there was actually we were dropping GIFs earlier to that, something to that effect earlier today.
Probably.
Yeah.
I sent him an electronic shot this morning because I'm actually a considerate friend.
Yeah,
That's what friends do for
I
other
think
friends.
that started it, and then we all started dropping drinking GIFs on there, and
oh yeah, I got like a million notifications, and I was super busy earlier today, and I was like, "Why do you talk when I can't be a participant?"
Yeah, and and things that happens. I know all about the millions of the notifications every day, but trying to weed through them. But I was actually sitting at my day job, and it was pretty boring today. Nothing to do, so I got to catch that one, and I got to participate, which is always fun.
Good.
To get in there when I can, because I've been being on that night shift. I was really out of the loop, and I felt kind of bad, and everybody kept asking me, "You okay? You okay?" Yeah, I'm just tired because I spent 10 days working 11 to 7:30, and then they wanted me to go right back to day shift. There wasn't much of a adjustment period in there.
No,
but
well, you were up with the Euro people, right?
Oh yeah, I talked with I actually got a bunch of friends over in Europe, so that I talk to, and I do a lot of work with them over there as well. So yeah, they kept me awake most nights.
That's what they do to me sometimes.
Well, it's just, my job is my day job is I build computer networks for,
No.
for training, and whenever they're doing training, unless something breaks, I have nothing to do. I'm just sitting there waiting to see if something breaks. So I not used to being awake from 11 o'clock at night till 7 in the morning. I'm sitting there, oh, please, something break, something, do something. But yeah, it doesn't do it. I need to get not so good at my job, I guess. But
That
yeah,
reminds me. Did you ever see the SNL skit, Nick Burns, your company's computer guy?
I haven't seen that one.
Oh my God. I think it's Jimmy Fallon back when he was on SNL. He was on SNL, I think, but you need to watch it on YouTube. It's hilarious. He like comes in and basically belittles all the people with computer problems. Like basically a 3-year-old could do this. Boom. So that's what I'm imagining that you do is like, you're just like, really? Boom.
Well, sometimes, yeah. Well, you have no idea how many times that someone's called me up. My computer's not working, and I get up there and it won't even power on. And I'm like, "Did you plug it in?"
Yes.
And sure enough, there's the plugins laying on the floor.
I shouldn't laugh, but that's hysterical because I've seen that and I know that happens. So
Okay, we got some questions here. When did you first start singing? Does anybody else in your family sing, and do you play any instruments?
okay, good. All right. So I was always around a lot of music growing up. My mom had an awesome cassette collection. My dad had an awesome CD collection. And then my maternal grandfather, he sang and played guitar, not professionally, but but he really enjoyed doing that. And some of my earliest memories are me standing on they had like this really awesome, like old 70s, that green 70s color, like ottoman. And I would stand on there and sing with him, just like folk songs and things like that. And so I did that. And then I was in a musical theater troupe for 7 years, and we sang in the White House, Austrian Embassy, Caribbean Cruise Lines. That was basically age 11 to 18. I sang the national anthem at every home swim meet in college. So to answer your story, I've been doing it since I was little. Yeah, and so my mom played clarinet growing up. My dad is just a big music lover. I think he might have dabbled with bass some. And then, like I said, my grandfather and his dad, who I'm actually named after, my great-grandfather, his name was Charley Young. What a coincidence. Anyway, he was apparently he was passed before I was here, but he was a wonderful violin player. So really comes through on my mom's dad's side.
Did he ever do any work like professionally as a violin player?
That's a question I'll have to answer. That I'll have to get the answer from my mom. And actually, there's her cousin is a big, he's been doing a lot of the genealogy. So I feel like I should ask him. Oh, how am I forgetting this? Oh my God. I'm said that because my mom's cousin was a studio drummer in Muscle Shoals during the 70s. He played with everybody. Joe Walker, Cher, Linda Ronstadt, the Allman Brothers, the Allman Joys. He played with everybody. So yes. Yeah. So it's my mom's dad's side, is chock music talent. Yeah.
Well, when I first saw the name Charley Young, I knew I'd seen it somewhere before, but I couldn't remember quite where. And it sounded like an older musician from the late 50s, early 60s types. And that's why I was kind of wondering.
Yeah, no, I don't think he did. I mean, I know he played around, but locales, but I don't know if he did any professional stuff. But like I said, his daughter's son, my mom's cousin, yes, absolutely, drummed all the time, and And then as far as instruments, I'm actually kind of proud of myself because I have this whole pandemic. I kind of started probably a couple months before the pandemic just because I'd always wanted to play piano. And so I've been teaching myself piano throughout the pandemic, and I can play some Beethoven songs, and I'm really happy. I'm working on a new song, and I went over the piano last week, and I was able to figure it out like in 5 minutes. And I was like, it's working. So, piano.
All right. Well, we got a couple questions here from people of the parallel, so we're going to go ahead and the first one is, do you prefer sandwiches or wraps?
Oh my God, that's a great question. Wow, that's a great question. Oh, I would have to say, I think I like sandwiches better. I'm not anti-wrap, but I've had so many of them in college and in my life. I think I just want a sandwich right now.
Okay. And his next question is Rottweilers or pugs?
Well, Rottweilers are drugs? Well, obviously drugs. No, just kidding. Well, I don't have a pug. I have a Rottweiler in addition to a fat bulldog, so I'm going to have to go with Rottweiler on that question.
Okay. And Stacy, my actress friend, she's like, what's on your playlist? What are your top 5 songs on your playlist?
Currently, I'm assuming she means right now?
Yes.
Okay. So currently, I am listening to kind of a melange, to throw back my French out there. I'm not trying to be pretentious. It gets mixed up sometimes, but like a mix of different things.
Just show off. If I could do it, I would.
Anyway, I was gonna say, so right now, like I have a mix I listen to before I go work out, and right now who's on it is Fonz Tramontana, who I'm gonna do the collaboration with that comes out in June. His second to newest release, I'm listening to it. It's called Tonight. It's really good and gets you up. It's a great song. It's been like programmed on a couple shows and it's been doing really well. What else I'm listening to is Fitz and the Tantrums. So alternative rock. I'm listening to The Walker and Handclap a lot. Marina, she's also, when she first came out, she was Marina and the Diamonds. So I'm listening to her Electra Heart album. It's from 2012. It's really good. And I am listening to Diamond Lounge and People of the Parallel Rise Up. There you go, People of the Parallel. And
don't give them a big head.
Yeah. So I think that pretty much sums up what I'm listening to at the moment. And then I'm always listening to my indie friends' music too, because honestly, their music is better and more interesting than what I'm hearing mainstream. It is. That's
what I keep telling people. That's why I work with indie artists, because there's so much great music out there that people just never hear. And
I'm listening to, I love Eyes and See that People of the Parallel released like last year. Like it was my jam of 2020 and I still love it. Okay, I'm done. Done.
Well, Mike from Three Mind Blight asks, do you ever rap?
Do I ever rap? Well, no. Do I appreciate rap? Yes. I'm a fan of female MCs. But the closest I get to rapping is one day I can recite the verses. I've got all of Paul Wall's verse from Grills memorized. I've got all of Lil Wayne's verse from Stuntin' Like My Daddy memorized. So in that way, yes, I have rapped. Have I rapped on a record, a recording that I've put out? No. Will it happen? I don't know. Maybe. But I'm not, yeah.
I could see you in the car, Salt and Pepper on the radio.
Hell yeah.
You're breaking it down. You're not even fooling anybody. Yeah, you're going to be breaking it down in the.
I just interviewed JJ Fad. I just interviewed them from JJ Fad, and I was like supersonic. So yeah, supersonic. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, I remember that. Yeah, everybody kind of raps when they're at least in the car, anyways.
I rap when I'm about to work out because I really need that aggression to keep me going. Yeah.
Okay, I think we caught up. Anybody else got any questions while we're
Just ask. We're here. Just do
in
it.
here? Yeah, might as well keep them going.
I really like the wraps or sandwiches question. That was fun. God, I haven't had a wrap in a while. The last one I had was a chicken salad wrap, and it kind of gave me indigestion. So I think I've got kind of a bad. I think that wrap's got kind of a bad rap. See what I did there?
Yeah. Whenever I was in Poland last year, I mean, there really wasn't sandwich bread.
No.
There. I mean, you had fresh bread that you can buy every day, but there was none of it was really sliced up. It was you had to pull it apart or cut it up yourself, or you could get the wraps. Or if you stop by any sandwich shop, most everything was in wraps. So yeah, I know exactly what you're talking about.
Yeah, then you really want a sandwich at that point.
He did say that he had money on that you liked wraps better, but looks like you lost that bet, buddy.
Who did you bet with?
He was just saying that he probably wasn't making a bet.
He should have made a bet with Aaron.
He's like, if I'm gonna guess, I'm gonna go with the wraps.
But it's because I'm all hippy dippy, but I'm also surprising with the hippy dippy stuff. I mean, I'm wearing my chakra beads right now and stuff like that, so that's why he guessed wraps.
Okay, well, since we're talking sandwiches and stuff like that, and you spend time between Florida and New York, so which is better, a Cuban sandwich or a pastrami sandwich?
Oh, you've asked a hard question because I don't eat pork.
Oh, you don't eat pork? Wow. Okay. Well, that stirs up. All right. So, what kind of sandwich do you eat?
I only eat like chicken, turkey, and fish.
Okay.
I have kind of a weird thing where pigs remind me of my bulldog because they both snort, so I just can't do it.
Well, hopefully they're not snorting when you're eating a sandwich. They might need to cook that a little longer,
No, but my bulldog does beg whenever I'm eating anything. I'm like, You literally can't eat this. And he's like, but why not? Feed me.
You don't have to tell me. I have a pit bull who does the same thing. He just sits there and stares, and you watch him, and he just start drooling while you're eating. God. And you're like, dude, this has onions on it. You can't even have this.
Like my Rottweiler, one day I was eating and I looked at my Rottweiler and there was literally just strings of drool. And I was like, you need to chill.
Get a napkin or something, Here, wipe that off. Yeah.
I'm like, you're a lady, for God's sake. Keep it, clean.
Yeah, no, they don't do that.
They don't care.
And I don't care when he ate last.
No.
He's always hungry, so yeah.
Yep. Especially if it's human food. It's like, I just ate a whole bowl of food, but you've got human food, so I now have extra room in my stomach for your human food.
Yes. Yeah. It's like they don't care. It's like any type of human food is Jell-O for dogs. There's always room for it.
Oh, yeah.
But
I give my yogurt cup to my dogs to lick the scraps, because you can't always get all the yogurt out, and they just go crazy. And then my dad feeds them hamburgers, and they look like addicts. Their eyes get this big, and they're just like, oh. I'm like, whoa, what is in McDonald's hamburgers that you're feeding them? Are there drugs in here?
I'll give my dog the kids' leftover chicken nuggets that they don't eat, and I mean, if you have to literally leave him inside to put him in his bowl, or else he'll take your hand off while you're putting him in the bowl, and then I don't know whether he hides them in his jowls or what, but they're gone in one fatal swoop, and they're gone, and then he's just licking his lips. I don't even think he chews them; he just swallows them whole. And I was like, They must really do put crack in the breading of McDonald's chicken nuggets.
I don't know, because now you're telling me that it's not just the burgers, now it's the nuggets. So I don't know what McDonald's is doing, but they're getting the animals addicted. So
yes,
they're doing something right for themselves.
Kids and animals addicted.
I used to eat Happy Meals like almost every day after school in elementary school. I was addicted. Yep, I was. Not gonna lie.
Yeah, my boys would do that if I would let them. Yes.
My grandma did. My grandma did.
You ask them what they want for dinner every night, and they're like chicken nuggets and McDonald's French fries. No, we're not going to have that tonight.
Not every night.
So you don't even get to give them the option anymore. You're like, I'm not even going to tell them unless it is an option where we can eat out that night. Yeah.
Yeah,
but,
exactly.
Because that's what they want every single time, and it's just not going to happen.
No, their heart and arteries are going to thank you for that.
Yeah, and heart disease runs in my family anyway, so I don't want to start them early.
Yeah, just simmer down now, kids. You get like 1 a month at most, and that's it.
Yeah. Now when they go to their moms, their moms is always. I don't think she's cooked them food in a year. They're always eating out when they go to their moms or picking up something. But it is what it is.
Yeah, you can only do what you can when they're with you.
Yeah.
Pray.
Good thing they're with me most of the time. So.
Okay. Well, there you go.
We're good. We're good there. We'll see how they do. I actually got to go out of town for a week for my day job next week, so we'll see how they do spending the whole week with their mom.
How old are your kids?
I have a 6-year-old and a 3-year-old.
Oh, wow. Okay. Got youngies.
Yeah. Let's see here. We'll go ahead and see. Well, here's my 3-year-old. He's a dancer, and he was being silly, and I was like, "Hey, you better stop, or you're gonna get a spanking." So he just sticks his butt out.
Oh my God, that's hilarious.
He was taunting me to do so, and then there's my 6-year-old.
Aw, cute.
And yeah, don't let them fool you.
Oh, I know.
They got too much of their dad in them. They're little heathens.
Their dad is probably just a horrible person.
Yeah, he is. But yeah, they're funny guys. Especially that little one. He has no fear of nothing, and you tell him, like, you want a spanking. Not that he gets spankings all the time, but you want a spanking, and he's like, he's like taunt you to come do it, and then you're like, I can't even stop laughing long enough to punish you. So, but that's
he
how.
spanked you in that. He spanked you.
Yeah. Oh, he does all the time. He's whenever he can't get a popsicle or something, he's like, I'll spank your butt. He'll come up behind you. Yeah.
Oh my God, that's funny.
He would live off of popsicles, and we get him the Go-Gurts, and I freeze the Go-Gurts like a popsicle, and he eats them like that. So he would live off that stuff if I would let him. But that's most young kids. Is their whole diet consists of French fries, chicken nuggets, hot dogs, and junk food and pizza. Well, he just started eating pizza. His older brother eats a ton of pizza, but the little one just started eating pizza.
I ate so much crap. Now that I think, I just ate so much crap, but I enjoyed it. I enjoyed every bite. The
little one, he used to like rip the toppings off and lick the sauce off the crust, and that's all he would do. But now he'll start eating the toppings and the cheese too. But yeah, anything to make a mess, he's down for it. But yeah, so I've held you up pretty late already. Are you on the Eastern time zone part of the Gulf or the Central?
You know, it's funny. We're the
You're in the
we're
Panhandle.
one part of Florida, yeah, that's central. So I always confuse people because they're
I
like,
will.
"Oh, sorry, it's
Uh,
10:50," and I'm like,
I know that because when I was in the Navy, I was stationed in Jacksonville for 4 years.
"Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah,
So I don't, and during the summertime or in the wintertime, I would go down to New Orleans and across 10
yeah."
all the way across because I didn't want to have to go through the mountains and stuff in the snow in my pickup. And yeah, so yeah, I'm familiar with Pensacola all down through there. And then right when you get to Tallahassee, it switches over to Eastern time zone. And
Exactly.
yeah.
You know, it's funny you mentioned New Orleans because, you know, I've been going there so often since I was a kid. That's also been a very big influence on me. And like, we're season ticket holders for the Saints football team and have been for years. So I'm a hardcore. Wasn't into football this year because I thought personally it was pretty irresponsible of them to be playing it during Corona.
Mm-hmm.
But I understand it was money. So, again, I'll get off my soapbox. But anyway, long story short, New Orleans is a big influence. Also, the French culture there and stuff like that. So it's always been a big influence on me.
I love going down there. Mardi Gras is always fun, and I love the food down there. I love the music down there.
Amazing.
Yeah. If I lived down in New Orleans, I'd probably weigh 500 pounds because I mean, any time of day, I'd be going to Mother's and grabbing a po' boy, and
Mother's is so good.
it is. It's amazing.
That's where we usually go after a Saints game, depending on like if it's a day game, we'll go there because it's usually, you know, like 4:00 or something. So it's kind of that weird time. So
Yeah.
we go to Mother's, and my parents will get like etouffee or jambalaya. And I think lately I've been getting like breakfast from there. But I also love like K-Paul's, like that Cajun kind of food. And there's just so many, you know, you can't really go wrong. So.
Yeah. And also there's so much history and stuff in New Orleans, and
It's so cool.
I'm a big history guy, and I could just spend hours and hours walking around New Orleans. I actually went and saw Marie Laveau grave before they shut down the cemetery where you can't go in there anymore.
Huh.
But that was back in 2008 when we were there. We went in there and we got to do the tour of, I believe it's St. Joseph Cemetery number 1. Now it's closed to the public because there's so many people vandalizing the mausoleums and stuff like that they had to shut it off to the public, which is sad.
I think like there was a lot of voodoo practitioners doing like spray painting things or something.
Yeah, well, there is they would leave offerings and stuff, but also the practitioners would draw 3 black X's on the side of the side of the mausoleums, and they were starting. It was all right when they were doing them in like chalk and stuff, but then they started spray painting it on there and defacing the graves and things like that. So they had to shut it down to the public. I think you might be able to schedule tours now, but you used to just be able to walk in there and do, and it was pretty cool. But I went in there and I saw Marie Laveau's grave, and I left my little stack of change there as an offering, and
cool.
And all that stuff is really intriguing to me. And,
absolutely, it's super cool.
New Orleans is such a great city. I just love going there. But all right, well, looks like we're losing our crowd because we've been on for about an hour and a half now. So go ahead and tell everybody again where they can find your social media sites before we head out.
Absolutely. So again, my handle on all social media is MS Charley Young. My name Charley Young. The MS is for Ms. So people know I'm not a dude. And my official website is also MsCharleyYoung.com. Try to keep it as simple for you to find me and follow me and drop me a line, and I will reply and I'll follow you back. I believe that, you know, if somebody supports you, I mean, I think it's really important to support them back, and, you know, what you give what you give out. So yeah.
All right. Well, thank you very much for being on the show. I had a great time, and I hope you'll come back on
Yeah,
the show.
I would love to.
Anytime you want. You know how to get a hold of me. Just DM me or whatever. Anytime you need anything or just want to chat, just go ahead and DM me. It doesn't matter whether you do it on Instagram or Twitter. I'm pretty well on both those pretty much all the time. More so on Twitter, but I'm starting to pick up more on Instagram. So yeah, but thank you again for being on, and we really hope to have you back soon. Make sure you remind me whenever your pre-sale is coming up. For your new
I'll
song,
definitely be posting
so I can
it.
get that blasted out for you, and see if we can't get a. I can't remember, we did one for someone last week for the last day of their pre-order, and we got them an extra 100 pre-orders the last day. I was like, well, you should have told me sooner, and we could have got a lot more. But yeah, we dropped it, and they got 100 pre-orders in that last day, and really helped them out a lot. And
oh my goodness. Okay, well then I'll definitely be taking you up.
yeah. Well, over on the Twitter side, we're just
you're doing super amazing on. I was like
19.2K over on the Twitter side. So we get out to reach a lot of people over on Twitter right now. It'll probably be close to 20K by the end of next week. So
that's incredible. Congrats!
Actually, well, yeah, and by the time the 26th of next month rolls around of March, yeah, it'll probably be like 21, 22K. Because I add anywhere from 75 to 120 new people every day.
Wow.
And it's mostly because of you guys. I mean, I don't really do nothing. I just share your guys' stuff. I hardly ever say anything at all, other than drop some GIFs or whatever in a war. But yeah, I don't do much. I let everybody else do their own thing, drop their links, share their music, and that Artist of the Day is really taking off. Well,
and you named me Artist of the Day, and I was just like, oh my god, like,
yeah,
thank you.
Yeah, well, I need to really let people know before I do that, because some of them aren't used to getting that many notifications in a day, and you can really rack up the notifications when they do that. Like if I tag them in the daily stream where everybody drops their links,
no,
they're like, what is all this stuff? It took me a week to get through that. I was like, I do that every single day, so don't worry about it.
And this isn't even my full-time job, so
yeah, some not yet, anyways. But
exactly, not yet.
We're working on that.
I hope so. Listen, I'm here for you. Like I said, I meant that. Like, I don't know. I think it's really important to support other people and to just, I don't know. I feel good doing it. So whatever I can do for my little self, I will.
That's what I'm all about. Is I support the people that support others, and it makes me feel good to be able to help you all out to get your music heard. You've got some really great music. Most of our guests that we have on here are just tremendous talents. They just haven't had a chance to be heard by a lot of people, and that's the goal, is to get it out there and get it heard by everybody. But I won't hold you up anymore tonight. Thank you again so much. Had an excellent time tonight, and you have a very good evening. And I hope to hear from you soon.
Thank you so much. We'll talk later.
Bye. All right, everybody. I hope you enjoyed the show tonight. Charley's a very great guest. I thought we had a real good time and an awesome conversation. I want to give a shout out and a happy birthday to my friend, Miss Chloe Caroline, today. Yeah, I'm wearing your hat for your birthday, so shout out to you. I will be out of town next week. I'm not for sure if I'm going to have a chance to do any live broadcast. I will be in the Nashville area, so I'm hoping to catch a few people's shows if they got a couple of shows going on while I'm there. If not, if the schedule doesn't work out because I'll be busy during the day, but I'll have my evenings free. If the schedule doesn't work out, then I will definitely hook some people up to do some shows from my hotel room. But other than that, I will let everybody know. Thank you all for coming out tonight. Make sure you hit that like button on the way out, and if you haven't already, make sure you subscribe and turn the notifications on, because I'm kind of crazy. We don't know what days and what times we'll be able to do the shows, but we'll get them out as often as we can, and get as many artists out as we can. But we will see you all later, and you all have a great evening.